Well, the Huskers come up short. Overtime loss on Friday on a night that was really set up for celebration. They lose 31-24 in OT to the Illini. Sean, let's put a final wrap on this. What was your big takeaway? I mean, there's so much to unpack, but when you leave this stadium, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, it was a back and forth fight, and I think there were moments where you could really see what Nebraska is and can be, but then you could see the moments what their deficiencies might be, and those showed up especially in the key moments, and obviously some penalty breaks win against Nebraska, but I think that's every game you play, and you got to overcome some of those breaks, and Nebraska had probably three situations, the wide open pass to Lindenmeyer, the no-call PI, and then the interception taken away on Naor, on those two Naor plays. Those three plays were really the definitive moments for Nebraska in this football game.
Luke Altmaier was fantastic. He threw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, including the game winner to Pat Bryant. What'd you think of him? I thought he was really kind of slithery.
Yeah, he was a former highly ranked recruit that committed to Ole Miss, left Ole Miss, and he looked like that level of player tonight. You could not really get a clean shot on him. Even when the pocket collapsed, he knew how to escape, get away from it, and you know they just made it hard all night. Tony White just never really had an answer. I thought Matt Rule's comment was telling that they were able to spread Nebraska out, and they were able to run. And in those formations, Colorado did that, but they were not able to run, and that was really the difference.
And that third quarter was the difference, was it not?
The third quarter, Illinois held the football, Andy, for nearly 11 minutes. There was a point where the play count was 25-4 in favor of Illinois, and they had no answer for Dylan Raiola in the first half. How do you get an answer for Dylan Raiola? You just don't give him the football. And I thought Illinois did a great job in that situation of just taking the air out of it, and it really kind of killed the atmosphere. That long third quarter that Illinois dominated in terms of time of possession and play count, it made it just, you know, Nebraska was still winning at points there, but it never really felt that way. It always felt like you could see the control that Illinois was about ready to take on this football game.
You know, I thought a key moment was right before the end of the third quarter. You knew the drone show was coming. If they would be able to punch that thing in right before the end of the third quarter, big celebration, it might have been a different deal. Instead, you do the drone show, which was awesome, by the way, and then you come out and you score the first play of the fourth quarter, but it just had a different feel, did it not?
Yeah, and then they come out, and Illinois just was able, the third and fourth down conversions, especially in the second half, were the difference. I mean, Nebraska's defense could not get off the field, and Illinois was scheming them up when Nebraska would bring in those pass rushers on the third and longs. Luke Altmaier, the run game, was just running right upfield past the pass rush, continuing to get those key plays. So they had an answer for what Tony White gave them. We still saw Nebraska win the turnover battle 2-1, which is a surprising stat. But Sierra Wright comes in for Tommy Hill. I thought he looked really good. Gunnar Gatula, for the most part, for what he did for Turner Corcoran, I thought he played well until that last drive. Obviously, in overtime, Illinois really lit Nebraska up there, and he got the penalty as well to start overtime.
And finally, as we move forward, teachable moments for not only Dylan Raiola, but John Hall put in a tough spot. He missed a kick. Where do they go from here?
Yeah, tough spot for John Hall to come in. I mean, the kicker thing for Nebraska has really been a tough thing for Nebraska. And for a team that plays a lot of one-score games over the last several years, guess what's pretty important? Kicking. Yeah. And Nebraska, the motto has been chasing three. Well, they don't have a guy that's been consistent in getting those 3 points. Dylan Raiola, I think we know what this kid can be, but I think tonight we saw, hey, you can't make him like Adrian Martinez in 2019 and try to make him do every single thing for Nebraska to win football games. You have to have some other things go around him. And overtime especially, I thought, too much was put on him in those situations.
Yeah, they did not set him up for success, no doubt. Bottom line is Nebraska falls for the first time this year, 31-24 in overtime. They'll try to bounce back on their first road trip of the year next Saturday at Purdue.